We have a major trade update as multiple insiders have linked the Sharks to Artemi Panarin via a trade. In this video, we're going to break down how they can acquire this guy, how he fits into this lineup, and so much more. So you're not going to want to miss this episode of Sharks Digest. But before we dive into everything here on the channel, we got a word from today's sponsor, Kalshi. And right now, we have an exclusive offer with Kalshi down below in the description and a pinned comment where if you trade $100, you will get $20 free in return when using code DIGESTNHL. Kalshi is the largest yes or no prediction market in the United States. It's now live in all 50 states. It's a place where you can predict sports, elections, news, music. They have something for you on Kalshi, and you're never locked in. You can cash out at any time. And right now, for us sports fans, they have some great predictions on NFL and college football playoffs, and especially some Sharks games, with one coming up today versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. They do have the Sharks at 29% to win this game. So if you take $100, put it on this game, you will get $345 on a right prediction. And when you use that $100, you will get, and use code DIGESTNHL, you will get $20 free in return. Kalshi is just a better way to use your sports and news knowledge to your advantage, all on a regulated market, and you can cash out on your prediction at any time. So go ahead, take advantage of this exclusive offer. Go down below in the pinned comment, in the description. Trade that $100. Use code DIGESTNHL to get $20 free in return. That's code DIGESTNHL. When you trade $100, you will get $20 free in return. And once again, big shout out to Kalshi for sponsoring this video. But we got some big news coming out today with Artemi Panarin being linked to the Sharks in multiple sources linking him to the San Jose Sharks. Let's take a look here as the first source to come out and talk about this was Emily Kaplan. She says Washington is a sneaky team for me to get Panarin, but she also says San Jose is another sneaky team. It just seems like right now there's no extension in place for Panarin, and the Rangers are looking to ship him out. And obviously now, we talked about yesterday with them acquiring Kiefer, Sherwood, it seems like they're all in on this core and going out and getting an elite winger maybe in the cards for Mike Grier and the San Jose Sharks. But it's not just Emily Kaplan who's talking about this. A very reputable source in Elliot Freeman says on his 32 Thoughts podcast, someone said to me one place that they would love to see Panarin go, and the more I thought about it, the more I loved the idea. Teal, saying that the San Jose Sharks would be a perfect landing spot for Artemi Panarin. Can you imagine a top line of potentially Kiefer, Sherwood, Celebrini, and Panarin, or Panarin, Celebrini, and Smith? That would be a lethal top line for the San Jose Sharks. But before we talk about that, let's get into Artemi Panarin. If you're not familiar with this player, he's exceptional. Looking just 3 seasons ago, having a 120-point season, and now this season has 54 points in 48 games on a struggling, and I mean struggling, New York Rangers team. He's really trying to put this team on his back, but nothing is happening. Right now, from projections on Elite Prospects, he's projected to have 91 points by the end of this season, 30 goals, 61 assists. Right now has 18 goals, 36 assists. So if you get him on a team with a lot of skilled players like Macklin Celebrini, like Will Smith, and Kiefer, Sherwood, and all these guys, and William Eklund that we have in San Jose, those numbers are only going to go up, and he'll reach that 100-point threshold, in my opinion. But keep moving on here. If you're not familiar with his game, because I know he is an East Coast player, he is an elite creative winger who drives offense with his high-end vision, puck control, and playmaking while consistently producing at a star level. This is another guy who's a top playmaker. He has his passing vision is crazy. He's able to find his teammates in the slot through defensemen. He has great skill with saucer passing, just passing in general. But he's also a great goal scorer as well. He can find the top corners. He can put the puck past the best goaltenders and even use his hands to, undress a goaltender at times and put the puck in the back of the net. He is an elite player that would really help the San Jose Sharks right now. Having 3 great playmakers potentially on a line with Will Smith, Celebrini and Panarin would be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, just looking at what we talked about last night with the Sharks lines with Sherwood now, it only seems like this is a recipe for success here in San Jose with this lineup, because there's a lot of things you can do with this. Let's just look at it a little bit closer here. As you know, Sherwood, Celebrini, Smith is what we talked about last night, but now we're potentially talking about a line of Panarin, Celebrini, Smith. Maybe even you mix them around. Maybe you put Panarin on the right wing because he is a right-handed shot on that left-hand side. So maybe you go out and you put Sherwood, Celebrini, Panarin, then your second line looks like Eklund, Wennberg, Smith, and then your third line is potentially Graf, Misa, and Toffoli. Maybe it's Graf, Misa, Chernyshov. Who knows? There's so many realms of possibility with this pickup that the lineup would look great. I think obviously Chernyshov has been playing good. You would hate to see him maybe get bumped down in this scenario, or potentially Graf getting bumped down in this scenario as well. So it is definitely an interesting one. I'd be definitely interested to see what the lineup would look like. Panarin would definitely be playing top line with Celebrini. He is 34 years old at this point in time, on an $11 million contract. So, you know, there probably is going to be some cap moved in this scenario, but like, let's talk about what this trade looks like. Before we get into that, he's great on the power play. He's only going to come in, immediately inject some life into this power play, and it's going to contribute to the success of this power play. Whenever we are lucky enough to draw a penalty, it's only going to make this unit more dangerous. We're only going to score more goals because of it. It's only going to make our younger players better because of this power play unit and who he's playing with on his line. And I think with such a veteran this guy is, and his experience he has throughout the league as, one of the greats, it will really help Celebrini and be a mentor for him to kind of shape him to be like, hey, this is what it means to be a star in this league. This is what you have to do to kind of keep yourself, kind of focused on the game. And I think that's what he would bring to a guy like Celebrini. But we have a Rangers fan taking to Twitter talking about what he would like to see in return. And heads up, this is a bit ridiculous. He says, I'd be asking for Michael Misa for Panarin straight up 1-for-1. Crazy. That is not going to happen. Panarin re-ups, presumably slots right in with Celebrini and Smith long term. Rangers get a premium center to push the retool along quickly with an NHL-ready player. This is not happening. This is not happening. Mike Grier is not going to trade Michael Misa, the second overall pick in this past draft. He had 2 assists in the game the other night. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. This is blasphemy in my mind. We're not getting rid of Michael Misa for Artemi Panarin, but what we do have is we have a plethora of young talent down, like a Quetin Musty is going to be a guy who's going to be moved out in this scenario. Quetin Musty, Luca Cagnoni as well. There's a lot of prospects right now that the Sharks do have that they will have to give up in a scenario like this. Maybe we even do see Colin Graf moved out in this scenario because, he's going to be a third left wing that's kind of thrown out. Maybe Toffoli goes back in this trade as well, but a first is definitely going back in this trade. You give up a first round pick for this player, definitely worth that first round pick. The player that goes back in this deal is kind of up in the air for me. I don't know really. I've been thinking about it so much about who I would like to see go in this trade. I'd hate to see Colin Graf go, but if you bring in an elite player like Panarin, it could lead to the success of this San Jose Sharks team this season. I think it would, but you'd hate to see a guy like Colin Graf go. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your mock trades looking like? Because when I was trying to put this together, I was like, a Quetin Musty and a first, you would definitely get him at that, but would you be willing to give that up? I think it's a very interesting situation. I'd love to see this trade happen. I know he is 34 years old. I know an extension's looming, and he wants the same money he has right now, which is $11 million. And we have Will Smith, and we have Macklin Celebrini, and we have Askarov's contracts all coming up. But the San Jose Sharks do have the cap for all that to work. And when you're talking about Panarin, he's 34. He's not going to be looking for another 8-year deal. So you might sign this guy up for another 2-3 years. Maybe we give him 3 years with a player option on the end of it. And that's what it looks like. So I'm not sure how this would work. I think he is definitely worth bringing in because in the next couple of years, the Sharks are going to be competing. He's still competing at a high level. All these guys that are in their mid-30s are still competing. I mean, Corey Perry, Alex Ovechkin, I mean, all these guys are still, Sidney Crosby, are still having good years, and there hasn't been a sign of decline from Panarin yet, so I definitely think this is worth the gamble if you want to try to go win a Stanley Cup in the next couple of years. But I want to talk about the game last night. You know, what a game. Hey, what a big win over the Florida Panthers. 4-1 physical game. Vinny Desharnais coming back to the lineup with an absolute injection with 1 goal, flattening Matthew Tkachuk. I mean, this was great. I love to see him back into the lineup. Also, big goalie fight, eh? Ned and Bobrovsky. I mean, you love to see Ned going in, just going in, and Bobrovsky coming down the ice, and those guys got a nice little, couple good punch-in from Nedeljkovic in that fight. And you love to see that after the game. I don't know if you've seen it on Shark social media. Ryan Warsofsky, he said, "How about our effing goalie?" And it was great to see that. I mean, Nedeljkovic having a great game, a lot of big saves, a big fight. I mean, what a game from Ned. You love to see that from the backup goalie, nonetheless. But looking at this game very quickly, obviously, we've seen Igor Chernyshov having 2 primary assists last night. We also see Michael Misa have 2 secondary assists. And I think this was kind of a coming out party for Michael Misa in my mind. I mean, that first, was the second goal where he assisted. He chipped it off the boards. Nice little chip pass up to Chernyshov. Chernyshov, he's shooting it, and when he shot it both times, he created a scoring chance, and they scored on it. He's just putting the puck on net. That's all he's doing, and it led to 2 goals. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky said that. So he created a chance by getting a rebound. Vinny Desharnais coming in him and tucking it in, and Ferraro coming in and tucking it in the second time. So you love to see that from Chernyshov and Misa. Fun game to watch. I mean, it should be a good one tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Going to be a tough test, but we're very excited for that, and hopefully we can come away with a couple wins here in Florida. Love to hear your guys' thoughts on the Artemi Panarin trade, your thoughts on the game last night. What was your favorite moment? If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. And once again, shout out to Kelshi for sponsoring this video. Make sure down below in the pinned comment, in the description, use code DIGESTNHL. When you trade $100, you will get $20 free in return. But as always, I've been your host, KC. Keep your stick on the ice.